So today I'll be talking about prompt to production. It's the basic. So if you wanted to have a relaxed session, just bring a coffee and follow with me. It would not be too technical, but we'll see how we can build an agent very quickly. Having said that, before we deep dive into the session, a quick introduction about me. I'm Divya Akula, a Microsoft MVP, currently working with Sulava, Middle East and Africa, and my socials are more on this QR code. And since it's only 30 minutes session, I don't want to bore up. Let's quickly go on significance of the day. And first of all, thank you, Smita, for organizing this event and inviting me. And we have an awesome speakers. Thanks for this whole effort and complete Pune Tech community, Nandeep's, Kunj, Siddharth, everyone. Thank you so much for making this event and every year event kind of. So women's significance in AI, why it matters. Why it matters is we all know that AI is reshaping the industry. Now, what is women's significance in reshaping the industry, and why would we focus on women being empowered with AI, and why AI needs women? So AI needs diverse builders, definitely a diverse builders with many perspectives included. Yeah, there are many people where we are talking about, like whether it is in prompting or developing the solutions, etc. Yeah, we have inclusive teams. Everyone says that the teams are inclusive. We have at least one women, etc. But what may make women distinct from men is, this is what I believe. I'm not. Uh, I'm more biased to women, so I believe we have more empathy and ethics compared to men or compared to any other gender. So, and these are necessary in shaping the future, which includes both responsible AI and user-centered AI solutions. Having said that, now the way you're talking about a lot about women in companies, there are women in companies, we are working, we are already working, do you still think? So these are the statistics from the left side is from World Economic Forum, where women represent in workforce only 22% of the global population, whereas in AI only 18% of the women are in research. So the women who are already working only 18%. So it's about facts we are talking. That's why AI needs more women in development. So what is that I'm going to talk about? I'm going to talk about how do we prompt, what is the prototype, and how do we connect to the product, and how do we probably I might not talk in this event about secure and scalable systems, etc. But we already have done many sessions with Pune community on the same. You may refer. Now, prompt engineering basics. Now, why women we always struggle with time. Do do you think that I have extra time to invest in AI learning? Even if you do not have extra time to invest in AI learning, you can start your AI journey with basic prompting. If you do not have time with basic prompting as well, you have prompt coach within Microsoft ecosystem. If you have access to Copilot or Copilot Studio, you have prompt coach where you can start your niche from there. Whether it's a complete software based solution that you are developing, or uh, whether it's a entrepreneur thing that you wanted to create and implement and you don't know where to start. So prompt coach is your go-to business. I'll demo that in a while. But what we can do today. So if you are very new, or you are a business person, you are dealing with business, you can start with Copilot. If you are a developer or a low code developer, you can start with a Copilot Studio. Or if you are a pro code developer, always Azure OpenAI along with many tools are available in the Azure Foundry. I'll show all of those today with you, and Power Platform, from where my journey is also beginning into the cloud. If you are more into low code, probably AI automation, including Power Automate, can help, and also the logic apps would help. So for today's demo, I'll be showcasing an AI use case assistant. It is simple internal AI assistant. As I promised, I'll start with from prompt coach to how do we implement it. Now, before we go back to the agent, Yes. So this is our Microsoft 365 Copilot, sorry, Microsoft 365 Studio or Copilot 365 Studio, or give it another name, that is fine. So here is our prompt coach. Now, what does this prompt coach? This is not an agent that I have created. Once you go to all agents, you you just click simply more, see more. You will see prompt coach here. Just win it, and you can always start from here. Now, as I promised, I would create a FAQ demo. So my prompts are already with me. So how do I start with my prompting? All I need to do is I have to give the query. Like I want to create an employee assistant, and assistant job is to answer employee questions about company policies. And these are the instructions from my side. Let's see how prompt coach helps us. So it gave me three options. Sorry, it gave me three options. It is asking me whether I wanted to create a polished prompt, or analyze or improve the prompt, or check if the prompt is compliant with responsible AI guidelines. All I say is one, add three, and also help me with the instructions for setting up this agent. So it is again asking, do I have HR policy document with me? I do have, but it is in my local machine. So what you wanted to do, whether you wanted to add as a link or paste it in a workspace or upload it in a file, I'll say I'll put my link in a SharePoint. We'll see what SharePoint is, and shortly I'll show you the demo. Let's hope it is faster. So when you are working, these four is what expected to create a agent better. Always define the goal of the agent, or and the context from where it should fill the information. If we have to fill the agent with some background info, all it needs to be given, and the source where it should pick the data from, or the knowledge, or you always also call it as grounding, and the expectations. So you already said, I have already given it to provide clear and concise answers. Oh my God, just asking so many questions today. Okay, one, two, two, three paragraphs. I want my answer to be two to three paragraphs. So it is asking what should be your style. I always need a policy reference, and yeah, and when to contact HR. I need all these details. So before it generates, let me quickly go back to the studio and cover few basic topics. So grounding AI with the data. Now, what is grounding AI with the data? Now, when I'm trying to create a internal assistant, or say HR-based assistant, it, where it has to search the data, whether it has to search in the website and give any random data, or if it has to look into a specific source. For example, here I have a guide called as say employee handbook. I would use that guide. And what is the relevance of the data? Does this document contain any other irrelevant data? Or does the agent need any other documents to support this document? Now, if you provide all of this, and the most important thing for AI to not to hallucinate, do not provide the same similar documents as a source. Ensure that he have one source of truth. And yeah, trustworthy AI, my favorite topic. For if see in this demo, I might not be able to show you trustworthy AI, but I can show you like how you can do it in the Copilot Studio. A quick setting. But does this AI system need any extra sources or any extra AI principles that make it this agent a trustworthy. For example, if in your company, if people are not trusting AI, what you can do? You can always ask the agent to provide a reference where it can fetch the data. And yeah, and few principles of responsible AI. Whenever you are creating an agent, ensure that it is treating all people equal. It is treating all people equal, and it should be factually correct. Women in Bangalore have extra leaves for menstrual, so it should include that data. Now it should not pull that data for men. So the fairness and the security and privacy is very relevant. It should not expose any sensitive data. Now remember, if your agent is exposing the sensitive data, you have to go back to the source of the data and see where it is getting exposed and how it is getting exposed. And transparency, always give the references. At least with the experience that I'm going through, every customer is asking, how can I trust this? So ensure that references are always exist. Now let's come back to my demo. I see it's already 6:43. So it says that my final HR assistant prompt is ready. It gave me a role, it gave me a goal. Role is the HR employee HR assistant for our organization, and goal is talking about HR policies, leave rules, etc. And the context is employee ask the questions. It's no one else, of course, the employee. No one else would be asking the questions since the agent would be exposed internally. And this is the source. Source I'm not going to give to the agent. We'll see how I'll create an agent. So what I'll do is I'll keep it intact, duplicate this tab, and here we have create agent. So what I would is my new agent. Is it not too slow for it has so I have chosen the name and it says this is the role. So I'll give it in the description. And what I'll do is goal, context, source, everything. I'm going to put it under instructions. Whatever the prompt coach has generated, I am using exactly as is. I'm not changing anything. And this is for my reference. That's it. So here I can upload a file. This agent, I'm limited. I do not have access to upload a file, but I'll show you how do you upload a file in Copilot Studio agent as well. And here I can have the capabilities. Now, since I cannot show you this, I'll quickly go to Copilot Studio and see how we can do this. The difference between a Copilot Studio and Copilot M365 agent is M365 agent has access only to your M365 environment, whereas Copilot Studio agent would it has a lot of capabilities, including your having access to your M365. It can connect to your custom connectors. It can also connect your SAP, ERPs, anything. So before I show how it works, I'll just add the instructions here, save it, and you can always choose the model. You can choose GPT-5 or GPT-4.1. I don't recommend. Say, let's move to GPT-5 and add knowledge. Either I can browse a file. For this demo, probably I'll browse a file, a simple document which contains details of HR policies, leaves, etc. I'll show you how it works. Add to agent. And here you can add tools. So how M365 agent is different from Copilot Studio agent is here you have a lot of options. You can even use your computer and let agent work for you, just like Claude, or if you are using with Claude or Maltbot, anything. So it uses computer. This is similar to that. And you can have different prompts, different flows. If you have already created, this is my fresh environment, so you don't see anything, or REST APIs, or even APIs created, sorry, even systems created with model context protocol. It also have connectors, all built-in connectors that are available with SharePoint platform are available here. So right now, this for this demo, I do not need, and you can definitely add triggers. Triggers is like when the agent should start, whether it's a recurrent, same like your Power Automate when an item is created in SharePoint, when file is created. But right now, I'm looking for more a conversational based agent. So it's the name faster, and everything else is customizable. And let me save it. So once I save this, and since I haven't shown you what the document I have uploaded, let me quickly bring it. Hmm. So sorry, this is the document that I have created for this demo, only with Copilot, or with Copilot, actually Copilot 365. It just created a document for these rules, with these hours, etc. And all these details, simple document. Now you need not use this document. If your data exists in Great HR, you can connect it. If your data exists in Zoho, you can connect it. Or if your data exists in anywhere else, definitely you can connect it. So before I publish this agent, first step is testing your agent. So it has reflected. I'll just ask a quick question. Our only challenge is your if an employee has 12 leaves, it should not show 14 leaves. That is what we call it as grounding. We have given it some information. If you see here, it says that it has referenced this source and this is the knowledge. And yeah, give me 1 second. I'll just make this. I hope this is better. So what I asked is how many sick leaves do employees get? It says employees take 10 sick leaves. This can be used if you are away for 3 more consecutive days. The company might request a medical certificate. Now, it gave all this information, and it is the reference that we are looking for. So, where did it pick the data? It has picked the data from here, and these are the information it has. Now, think if an agent is working on a multiple documents, let's say it can work till thousands of documents. It is always good to have a reference. It's a proof for your business on how the agent is behaving. And next, the other important thing once you start testing and publishing is the activity. Activity tab refers who is invoking the agent, when it is invoked. If there are any issues, yes, definitely it displays here. And you can also create some evaluation test metrics. I haven't done it yet, but definitely I'll try to. But if you are more into creating an agent, this is your option. And if you notice this from M365 Copilot, this would not have so many capabilities, but it is good with other things. Like if you are more focused on M365 Words, Excels, PowerPoints, etc., your M365 Copilot is good. Otherwise, we use a Copilot Studio. The next job, very important thing is the channels that it supports. By default, Copilot Studio supports all these channels. Now, if you are planning a business, create few instructions, one source or two sources, and publish the agent onto your WhatsApp. Now, WhatsApp requires a Facebook account. That's all it needs, and people can communicate to your business directly with WhatsApp. That's all it takes to learn in AI, or that's how easy Microsoft has made it to create. So all I'm requesting is, even if you have time or don't have time, spend some time in learning AI. It would help a lot. Uh, either either in business side or self learning, ensure that it is a practice. Now, having said that, I cannot conclude this session without notifying about few people. One second. I really, really have the names. I do not want to pronounce it bad. Left side is you see Geetan. Right side you see Feifei Lee. And middle is what? Give me 1 second. Middle is what you see. I don't know. It is Gebu, Geibu. So these are the three pioneers whom I usually follow in a. She is an advocate, I can say, in responsible AA, whereas she was the first researcher and also helps in creating images in AA field. Whereas she is a strong advocate for responsible AA and AA practices, and one of the researcher in pioneered researcher in the industry. These people inspire me. They inspire me a lot. But there are also people who inspire me. I haven't put the names, but I really wanted to call out first my mom, who inspired me day in day out, and till today I follow what she said, and definitely Smita and Gomati. Even before MVP, I follow them. Literally, I used to follow them. It was not easy for me being single mother and do it, but they really motivated me. And Rashmi, my MVP mentor, she was like, "You are more than enough." That's what she told me. She told me when she asked me for the contribution, it's like you are enough. So these are the few very important women. I would really love to call out them. So thank you all. Thank you for being there every time and anytime. And having said that, every woman, whether you are in technical or non-technical, I would sincerely urge you to start with any kind of agent. You can be in Microsoft ecosystem. Microsoft ecosystem makes it very easy, definitely. But you can start it in any ecosystem. And with having said that, any questions?
Hey Divya, thank you so much for such a valuable session and sharing
Not
all this information. We really appreciate it. And you are a motivator for so many women. Thank you so much. We
thank you
do
so
have a
much.
couple of questions in the chat.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I'm just opening. Can we call this prompt coach agent directly from Copilot Studio so that I can automate the prompts? I haven't tested. Probably you can try and say, I really, it's a good question. I'll definitely test and update my LinkedIn, but I haven't tested. Yeah.
But is that a possibility? Like, are there any connections that we can do to this agent that is already created?
So usually agents which are published from Copilot Studio, you
Mm-hmm.
would have access to access it.
Okay.
In Copilot Studio, if you can call other agents as well. But prompt coach, I haven't really tried it. Or the agents that you have created in M365, you can always open it with Copilot Studio and republish it and use it. So I haven't really tried this. Let's see.
Okay. Thanks, Divya.
And when will we start? How non-coders can build AI agents in 30 minutes? But is that question to Smita or Pune Tech community, or is it to me?
Yeah, I think that is a session
Yeah,
she's talking
so
about. We
the
already
session will
start.
start in next 4 minutes.
Okay, 4 minutes. Okay,
Yeah, we will
okay.
start the session in 4 minutes.
4 minutes, three
Just
minutes now.
wanted, yeah, just wanted to check if anyone is, yeah.
Divya, since this is a Women's Day special, no, is it okay? Like, if you could tell us, like, what are the hardships that you faced and what were the how did you overcome that? Like something on a personal note that we can relate to as women.
Definitely, Nancy. So there are many things that happened in my life. Unfortunately or fortunately is what I can say. So first thing is like workspace bias. It will always exist. Now, whenever you feel the bias, usually we tend to either not to work or we tend to overwork. I tend to overwork sometimes to prove me. One important thing I have learned from my mentors is do not prove anything to anyone. You prove yourself. Like if you are satisfied for today's work, then you need not prove anything. Don't try to prove yourself to someone else. Either it can be in work or home. Second thing, have goals. Very important. Have goals in life. Weekly goal. It is not required to do. You should do it daily. That goal needs to be repeated daily. Take a 1 month span or 1 year span and ensure that the goal is achieved. That is how we progress. At least for me, I have progressed. And always rest is more important for women. Sorry, I'm not talking about men. I don't have any perspective for them. But as a woman, I feel both mental break and physical break is needed. So ensure that you take. But Ansi, if you have any specific question, like if is it for workplace or is it at home, just let me know. One thing I wanted to tell is even today's session, I really didn't have time. I have a few production issues happening since last week, even before Smita asked me for this event. And there is something that I chose to participate, which I have to complete it today. And my son's exams are going on. So all we need to do is some delegate. Probably I delegated my son's task to my brother, and most part of this creation of this agent or creation of this PPT was also being done by an agent. So delegate as much as you can and have that mental peace at least for 5 minutes a day.
Thanks, Divya. That was very inspirational. I'll definitely reach out to you personally on LinkedIn.
Definitely, definitely. I'm open. I'm
Thank
a
you.
MVP mentor and generally a mentor as well. So please feel free to reach out. Thank you. Thank you all. It's almost time, Smita. Please take over. And thank you
Yeah,
again,
thank
Tech
you.
community, for this session.
Thank you so much, Divya, for sharing your journey with us and inspiring so many women. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So let me
Bye.
stop the recording, and I would like to invite our next speaker, who is Soumya Smriti.